guys, thank you so much for checking out my series on anger and dealing with it effectively and in a healthy manner. You know, we all have times in our life where the stress in our life just builds up and we have anger coming out of the surface. Anger is going to be an issue that all of us deal with. It is a natural part of life. It's something that God has given us to use as a tool. However, it can also be very harmful to us and others. And that's what the purpose of this series is. Maybe some of you are dealing with anger, or maybe you're dealing with the anger of others. And that's what this series is all about. It's going to be 6 lessons, very short lessons, approximately 10 minutes long each. So 6 10-minute lessons, and it comes with a study guide. And here's what I'd love for you to do. I'd love for you to take this series and do it with somebody else, maybe a spouse, maybe a coworker, maybe a friend in the community, maybe a small group even. But take the course and do it with somebody. If not with somebody, then maybe after you do each lesson, make it a point to connect with somebody in your community or in your circle of influence and just talk about what you've learned, because that's really where the true growth happens, is when you discuss this stuff, you discuss these principles that you're learning with others. Take it even a step further. If what you pick up from these 6 lessons, you're like, you know what, I am dealing with anger, or I'm really struggling with the anger of my spouse, or I'm really struggling with the anger of my coworker or my boss or that relative in your life, then consider coming to 2 or 3 sessions with me. Now, we can do it here in the office in Traverse City, or we can do it online in a Zoom conference room. I have several clients across the country that I meet with in an online conference room that is secure, and it's an opportunity for you to share, and we're still face-to-face. And or we can do it on a phone call as well if you don't have the internet capabilities. But the big thing is, was you deal with anger, you got to do it in relationship with others. You got to talk it out. You got to talk about what's going on, because then you get real feedback on what's going on. So what are we going to talk about in this series on anger? Well, first of all, we're going to define it. We're going to paint a picture of what anger is, what is healthy anger, and see what the big picture is of anger. We're also going to look at the backstory of anger, because every time there's an anger issue, there's a backstory, because anger is really just an outline or a play out of something that's in our past or in the person's past. And so sometimes when we see anger flaring up, there's a backstory to that anger. So we're going to unpack what that looks like. Then we're going to look at, what does it mean to be responsible? How do you take action on your anger issues? How do you be responsible for your anger? We're going to give you some practical steps on that. How do you deal with the anger of others? When there's other people who are angry at you, how do you deal with that anger? I'm going to give you in lesson 5, we're going to give you a powerful weapon in anger to deal with it, a powerful weapon to address anger. And then finally, the last lesson is on how to deal with rage. Because sometimes when we get angry, boom, it turns into rage. Ephesians says, in your anger, do not sin. So how do we keep the lid on anger in a way that we deal with it healthy, but it doesn't turn into rage, where it can really damage us and others in relationships for the long haul. So thank you again for checking this out. If you have questions, please email me, or you can call my office. But again, thanks for checking this out, and I hope you enjoyed the series. Have a great day.